Another thing you might struggle with is how do you stop freezing every time um, you want to ask for something that you need? Um, in other words, setting a boundary or asking for someone to help you with something. Um, those might be difficult things for you. You also might struggle with playing small and hiding who you truly are, because when you're in the trauma, in the PTSD, the abuse, the neglect, being who you truly are, especially if the narcissist was involved, being who you truly are was never acceptable. The narcissist could really care less what feelings we had or what we were going through. Oh, they feigned caring. They pretended to care when other people were around, but when they were in a place where they didn't have to try to impress somebody, they could care less what was happening to anyone around them. So it's almost as if you had to put on a mask so that it looked good in front of other people, or it looked good to the narcissist, or you had to hide your feelings or not be attached to your feelings because the narcissist trained and groomed everybody around them to not bother them with being a person, essentially, being a caring human being. So you might also play it small, meaning small goals, small expectations for yourself, because that's how, especially I bring up the narcissist, that's how they really treat everyone, is they don't want anyone to achieve anything greater than what they have, because that would definitely challenge their insecurities. And they want to squash anyone around them who has achieved more, earns more, more education, more success, um, whatever the narcissist perceives as success. They want to squash that. And what the narcissist often does when they have someone around them who is achieving more than they are, or when they feel threatened by someone else's achievements, if it's a child or someone close to them, they will try to accept that achievement as their own. In other words, if you're a child of theirs, they will accept it as, oh, well, I helped them, therefore it's my success. So they really like deprive the child of the achievement. But if it's an adult and the narcissist can't do that, what they'll do is they will often push that person out of their group, and they will be very angry with that person. They will make up horrendous stories about why they don't like them or what they, and it's based on no real fact. It's just they're very threatened. So they become very um, disparaging about that person, and they'll tell anybody who will listen about all the negative things about that person. And they won't let that person close to them because that person is making them, they think, look bad. And the narcissist doesn't realize is they do that all on their own. The narcissist doesn't even need any help looking bad because they don't see how they are perceived in reality. They only twist their thoughts to be that everyone loves them and everyone perceives them exactly the way they want to be perceived. So there's a lot of stuff going on with the narcissist, but playing small, hiding who you truly are, those are things that you might be struggling with. Um, and you might be struggling with that freeze response from trauma, where you just feel like you can't be yourself or can't say what you really need or what you really mean because the narcissist won't be accepting of it, or you take the rules that the narcissist set and you apply that to everyone else in your life, not realizing as an adult not everyone is a narcissist, and that you can indeed be who you really are, and it's okay. Some people will like us, some people won't like us, and it's the often, I believe, people struggle with not knowing how to deal with a situation where someone just doesn't like us, because we feel like all those trauma responses from the narcissist come back, and we start internalizing that dislike. We think that we're a bad person. We think that we should try harder, that we should really reach out to that person. And in reality, sometimes we just don't like everybody. And it's not a narcissistic situation, but the mind has trouble sometimes distinguishing between a real threat and a perceived threat. Because of that freeze or fight, flight, or freeze response is always on at the highest level. So if you're never relaxing, then the brain thinks, well, I have to be hyper vigilant about everyone, everything, all the time. And you can imagine how exhausting that can be. And if you have a lot of trauma, you already know